Alrighty, so yes, today it is the 30th May, the end of May. Very weird weather that we've actually had. The weather has been gorgeous, the weather has been really cold. But Jillian, how are you doing actually on your side?
No, so far so good. I've been a little tired. Been okay.
Sit back underneath this wonderful show of Divine Oracle podcast that can be found right here underneath Podbean with your hosts, Psychic Me, Chris and Jillian. At times, so that they will be having special guests coming to you, talking about their own spiritual journeys and where you can find them.
And we have a special guest actually in hand. This is for most people that know her. She is from a past TV show that I would say early 90 time period. It was over here in North America. Some countries are still getting it to date. And she's a personal friend of mine. I've actually worked with her directly. Her name is Jackie Dennison. Welcome, Jackie, and how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm always good when I see you, Chris.
Yes.
You know, you always make me smile.
Thank you.
So it's good to see you, and Jillian too. Good to see you.
Yes,
Been a while.
It's like us. So, I'm unfortunately Eva's not here. You've met Eva underneath the last recording, and Eva does send her love to you directly. But things are actually happening actually on her own, underneath her own spiritual path. So Jillian has been sitting in. It's really wonderful to have Jillian here. Now, Jackie, would you like to let our listeners know a little bit about you?
Well, apart from being the mad woman who talks to dead people, like yourself.
Yes.
Rescue Mediums, of course, is the show that I did in Canada for, we did 7 seasons of Rescue Mediums. And I work this is my little log cabin in the bottom of my garden where I do all of my readings and tutorials and past life work as well. I do that. I'm currently working on a show in England called Haunted History, Psychics on the Ghost Trail, and that's with a young medium, Megan Downs, who trained with us at Feathers many years ago, and we are in our 2nd season now of Haunted Histories. So I love doing that. I love working with Megan. I'm working in Japan. I've been working in Japan for the past 3 years, backwards and forwards, I've done 3 shows for them now. And they're a history-based show.
Yeah.
I'm still doing all the crazy stuff that I love to do.
Well, it's great. It's great to hear from you, to see, though, that you've got a very adventurous, actually, work within the spiritual community. Sort of do with Rescue Mediums. You want to sort of let our viewers know, since we have some new subscribers, actually, of how you got started with Rescue Mediums.
Oh gosh, Rescue Mediums sort of came about through family history. When I was looking into my family history, and just happened to, a cousin of mine who lives in Vancouver contacted a guy called Michael Lamport, who lives in Toronto, about the history of his house. Did he know anything of the history of his house? Because I was looking for my great-great-grandfather. Didn't find him, but who I did find was my great-uncle Oliver, who had actually built the house that Michael Lamport was living in, and that's how we sort of got together. Now, you knew Michael very well, Chris.
Yes.
You've worked with Michael on a number of occasions, and he was an actor, and producer, and director as well, directed some episodes, and he was interested in the kind of work that I was doing. When my cousin Jean said to him, "Well, you should talk to my cousin in England. She's psychic and she might be able to tell you who the ghosts are in your house." And of course, that was my great uncle Oliver, who was living in his house. So he came over to England with his colleague Gregory Shepherd, and they liked the work that myself and Christine were doing at the time. Christine Hamlet were doing at the time. and he filmed us, took the tape back to Canada, produced it to W Network, and they loved the show and said, "Yeah, let's make a show." And that's how Rescue Mediums came about, from a little demo tape done here in England, in Derbyshire. And then, Rescue Mediums was born. So, it's all down to Michael Lamport living in the house of my great uncle Oliver.
Yes, that's how we sort of got to know each other, was through Michael. God rest his soul. And for our listeners, they'll let you know, Michael used to look like Robert Williams, identical to Robert Williams, except for just a little bit taller than Robert. So that's the best way to indicate about him.
During your takes on Rescue Mediums, do you have any episodes that stand out?
Oh, crikey. 89 episodes.
Yes.
And everyone stands out in its own way. You know, every episode had a different kind of affinity to it, you know, because you get involved with the homeowners as well as the reason why you're there. So some stories that we sort of uncovered were poignant because they involve the homeowners, so you become attached to the homeowners almost, and others are the stories you uncover yourselves because they're quite traumatic in a way. But I think one of the ones that I did, the very first episode I did with Alison, was with a little girl who she kept seeing a boy child in spirit, and she wouldn't go into her room. She was scared of going into her room because this little boy kept appearing to her. Anyway, it just turns out this little boy had drowned, and he thought she looked like his sister. And so he'd sort of attached himself to her because she understood him. The uncanny thing was, the researcher, Edna Dargy, a brilliant researcher, she found a photograph of this little boy and his sister, and she looked uncannily like the little girl whose house we were at. It was really, really quite bizarre. We called her the Rainbow Child. And as we were moving away from the property, after we'd done the entire rescue and we'd done the show and tell information, a rainbow appeared over the house. We couldn't believe it because we called her the Rainbow Child. And this rainbow just appeared over the house, and we couldn't have asked for anything better to finish the show with. And as we're walking away, there's the rainbow. Incredible. It was just incredible. So that one really stands out for a number of reasons, because you can't, and we've got AI and everything going on nowadays, haven't we? But of course it wasn't the same then when we were doing that particular show. I mean, it was what was it, 2009 I think, when we did that one. And so there was in all of its glory, nature's glory there, the beautiful rainbow right over the house of the Rainbow Child. So that one stands out for that reason.
You and I, we've actually done some workshops together, sort of off topic about actually rescue mediums. We've done some workshops together. We did the Coburg Jail, which was the largest jail actually in Ontario, Canada at the time. We've also done a workshop in Milton, Ontario. And Milton, though, we actually had a lot of energy happening there. And I remember, though, that we took you beforehand, we took you into the house, and we did a walkthrough with you. And also with your colleague at the time, which was Steve Furlong. Yes. What would you say about the walkthroughs? Like, is it very important, though, not to know anything? Like, would you say it's important not to know the information to do a walkthrough, or vice versa?
I think it's doing a walkthrough always helps me and Steve as well.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Steve Furlong, and we still work together, Steve and I, doing investigations and things, and doing workshops. We still do workshops together. So doing a walkthrough first gives you an idea of what the energy's like beforehand, and then you get a sense of where, especially if it's quite a big property, you know, you need to know where you need to focus your energy. And of course, as you know, Chris, sometimes spirit follow you around from different places within the property, so you end up you know, going through the entire property rather than focusing on one area. But that was the Milton one, I think, was quite intense in some ways, wasn't it, that one?
Yes. Yeah. Jillian can sort of explain, if she wants to, what has happened with her on the property. It's up to you.
So when we were doing the investigation, we were doing a seance in the barn. The spirit that was there, he was the plantain owner. He had owned a lot of slaves, and he had a horrible death when he died. And he ended up possessing me at some point through the seance.
Wow.
The other people that were there, they had recorded the entire audio of it. So I kind of remember most of what happened. And the hard part was that I felt the way he died. He died a horrible death with horses. He was trampled to death by horses. And the slaves, they actually just stood by and let it happen because of the way he treated them. So yeah, it was not the most pleasant feeling. And at the end of it, they tried so many ways to try and break the circle that they didn't want to harm me in any way. So they kept trying ways to do it. And it eventually got to the point where I had to kick him out of my head.
Right. I like that.
So at that point, I had to get up and I had to go walk around, and it was I was looking for somebody to ground me, and I walked into the house where another investigation was going on, and there was a gentleman in there who was actually being possessed. Ironically, after I kicked him out, another possession was going on.
Yes. Yeah,
so
we've had that happen like that, you know, where he's gone from, you know, he or she, whoever you've like emptied out of your head or whatever, or you cut them off, like they've gone, oh, okay, then we're going to go over there then,
yeah. So when I walked in there, it was just, what is going on? Like, why is this happening, you know, tonight of all nights? But I understand there was a lot of psychic mediums, a lot of clairvoyants, audiovoyants, a lot of spiritual people there that night, and I think he was just putting on a show, to be honest, and going, look at the power I have. Because I just wanted to know what was actually said, because they had video as well. It's just, I was just out of camera. So everybody else was around the table, and I was just kind of in front of the camera but below it.
Well, that'd be interesting for you to find out, you know, what, because you do when you were overshadowed like that. When anyone mediumistic is overshadowed in that way, it's like you are aware of yourself, you're aware of the other person that you're communicating with, and their thoughts and feelings are so overwhelming at the time that you sort of blank out part of it. So it's not a full, because I will never allow a full overshadowing. Any overshadowing that takes place, whether it's because I'm working in front of the cameras or behind the cameras or whatever, it's like I'm allowing that to happen so I can get the story out. And rather than it just being a sudden impact like that. I know with myself and Steve Furlong, something like that did happen in a private residence. We'd gone with another medium, so Steve and I and another medium, and the family had been experiencing problems with the daughter's boyfriend. So he had been, if he stayed overnight, he'd been felt as though he was being pushed off the sofa. He felt as though he was being pushed down the stairs. He didn't know. It was just a force that he couldn't explain. When we went there, we found a pastor there who goes back to, I think, the late 1700s, early 1800s. I can't quite remember. It was a long time ago now when we did that. But this pastor he was a lay preacher that went from place to place, preaching. And he did not like the fact that the daughter's boyfriend was staying overnight. He thought that went against his own principles. And so he was trying to get rid of the boyfriend, basically. So what we did, we formed a circle in the lounge in the living area of this house. So there was myself and Steve and the other medium, the daughter, the boyfriend, and mum and dad within this circle. We invited the pastor in to try and contain his energy so that we could deal with him and pass him over. What we didn't expect was what happened was he came through really, really quickly and made a beeline straight for the young man. I think he was about 17 or 18, this young man. And all we saw was him flying backwards and his nose just exploding because this preacher had punched him in the nose. And then we had to try and, everybody in the circle, they were like, oh my God, what's happening? And Steve, the other medium that was with us, ran out of the house. And Steve and I had to take this young man into a bathroom area and separate him, pull him away, or like out of the head, get him out of the head off, so that I was trying to deal with the young man and Steve was dealing with the preacher, but then he tried to overshadow Steve. And so that's when his guide stepped in because he tried to choke Steve. And Steve he's a big guy, Chris knows
Yes.
Steve for a lot. He's a big guy, and he doesn't suffer any fools lightly, so, but he had a little bit of a struggle. So he was shouting to his spirit guide Lau, like, don't you let him in, don't let him in. And anyway, eventually we were able to get him over. The weird thing is we asked for someone in spirit to come forward to help with the situation, and his mother came forward. This preacher's mother came forward, and he was like, oh my God, my mother's here. And he became the little boy almost, and she was able to take him over. But it was, I think that's probably one of the scariest ones that I've ever done, where it's been very physical, extremely physical, which it can be. And that involved, like I say, the young man in the house. And they've not had any problems in the house since, because we've been in touch with the homeowners. That was good many years ago. But it can be very scary when the spirit goes from one to another, because he attached himself to this young man, then tried to attach himself to Steve. But luckily, Steve was able to deal with it. We were able to contain the energy enough to be able to deal with it, but it can be really, really scary when that happens. So yeah, I sympathize with you, Gillian.
Yeah, it started out with the grounding. I had grounded myself, but there was a lady at the table that she had complained about always being taken over by spirit. So I projected some of my energy onto her, and I think I gave a little too much of that away. And it just so happened that it left me open enough for him to come in and try to take over. It was definitely a scary moment for sure, because I didn't know if he was ever going to leave or if he was going to become part of me. I didn't know. So, because it was the first time something like that had ever happened.
Well, you obviously handled it really well.
So I'm looking at your website, Jackie, and I'm noticing, I'm looking at your Japan television show, and it says so that you were basically in Fuji, actually November 2022. Do you want to let us know exactly of how this came through for working over there in Japan and all that?
Yeah, I got an email from a colleague of mine, Japan had been in touch with my colleague. She's an animal communicator, Jackie Weaver, and they were looking for somebody in Japan. They were to look for lost pets and things like that, and but also to discover how psychics could work alongside, somebody who goes out looking for lost pets. That's their job. That's their physical job. They're trained to do that. They've got the equipment to do that. And how a psychic could work alongside someone like that to try and help in a situation, or how a psychic could work alongside maybe a detective, just for example, to see how the two could work side by side. And it's a new concept in Japan, working with psychics and mediums, because mainly they look at like fortune telling and that kind of thing in Japan. Even though they're extremely spiritual nation, the concept of a medium or a psychic is a little different. So anyway, she had this email from these people. That's what they were looking for. And she said, well, I'm an animal communicator, but I don't really communicate with spirit in other ways. So maybe you should contact Jackie Dennison. So they did, and we had a meeting, and I ended up going to Japan. I've now done 3 shows for them. They're all 2 hour. Well, the last 2 were 2-hour shows. So the first one was finding a cat that had gone missing. So the team I worked alongside, it was quite bizarre, mother and son team. That they work in the night looking for like missing cats, because cats that's their area at night time. They come out at night time, and they have a huge success rate. So I had to use my psychic ability to communicate with the cat, but also for my guides to give me some insight as to where the cat could have been. That was just one of the things that we found the cat. Yeah. And the cat was alive. So that was wonderful. The cat told me that it had a problem with its paw, there was a problem with its paw. And the cat told me how it had escaped from the house and why it had escaped from the house, because it had a fight with the brother cat. And the homeowner was able to say, oh yeah, that's what happened. The door was open a little bit. They'd had a little bit of a spat, these 2 cats, and the cat had got out. And the cat showed me an area which was it's an underground area somewhere, and like what looked like a flat broom. So I did psychic art with what the images I was getting came quite quickly, and the reason I think why the psychic art worked in that case was because I don't speak Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese cat language either. But the image is the same, right? In any language, it doesn't matter what it is. So if we're both looking at like this, for instance, which has only got water in, Chris. There's no wine in it, not yet. It's only water. So just to let you know. So that glass is a blue glass, and it's the same and the image is the same in any language, but we call it something different. So I tend to work with imagery quite a lot, and so they will get me to draw things. So I drew a flat broom on a wooden area that was slatted wood. Anyway, to cut a long story short, the cat had been in that area, and the cameras that the mother and son team had set up focused on the cat in that area. They could see the cat going in, and when we explored in the area itself, there was a flat broom. It was inside a shrine. It was underneath inside a shrine. So it's interesting how you can help. A psychic can help in those situations, you know. So I had 4 different tests, if you like. 4 different. One was working against a man whose memory had pristine memory. He could put playing cards down, memorize them all exactly where they were, and he was brilliant, actually, this young man. And then they asked me to do the same thing. Well, I can't even remember what I had for me dinner, let alone memorize cards, you know?
Yeah.
So I worked with energy. So I got the lady who was the teller, brand new deck of cards, when she was holding the cards before she laid them out, to lay them all out and then pick one card up that she wanted to focus her energy on, and then she showed that card to the camera. I was in a different part of the room with my face to the wall with cameras on me, so I couldn't see the card. And so what I did, I used my hand chakras, which I love to. That's what I use all the time to read energy. Is I use my hand chakras, and I was able to find the card because of her energy reacting to my hand chakras. So it's just an example of how you can use different, there's nothing, it's not magic, it's not anything like that, it's not anything, supernatural. It's something that we've all got. It's just knowing how to tune into that. So that was the first show that I did with 4 different concepts of the show, and it went down so well that they invited me back. And when I was invited back, it was a completely different kind of show. It was historical. So I was uncovering history about individuals who had been passed over a long time, to try and uncover their story, to see what myths were right and what wasn't. So that was really interesting, because I worked with a couple of samurai warriors who had died in the 1850s. So I uncovered some of the history as well. So some of it was in the history books, some of it wasn't. And so the historian, I worked alongside 2 different historians, and really enjoyed my time with that. I love working with historians because they can uncover things that you don't know anything about, So, and they were 2-hour shows that I did. So yeah. So that's how it came about, Chris. You know me, I can carry on talking and talking. And you ask me a question and then I go on to something else.
Yeah.
So, that was how it started.
Now, the other thing I'm noticing, though, is that there was another paranormal show, though, that you also did. And it was with 3 other gentlemen.
The Inspectre Paranormal?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I love Inspectre Paranormal.
Yeah.
Yes. So right. That is a podcast.
It's a podcast, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
and that is the brainchild. Do you know what? It's so good, because everything you do with Inspector Paranormal is based on what the homeowners experience. So it's a little bit like Rescue Mediums, because it comes from it comes from what the homeowner is experienced. Now, the interesting thing with that one is we have a team. I'm part of a team, and so we have a historian, we have someone who is an open-minded skeptic, we have me, who is the weirdo, and then we have Tom Barrow, who is the creator of the show and the narrator of the show. So he goes into the homes or the businesses, and he talks to the people who work there or whose house it is, and gets their first-hand accounts of what they experienced. And then he puts it all together, and he talks to Eli, who's the historian, to Tom H, who's the skeptic, and then to myself, to get our opinion on what's happened within that property or business. So you get lots of different views about what happened, so it's quite it's very open, and then of course the viewer can listen to all sides of this and find out what they experience when they listen to it, what their belief system. So it's open, it's very open.
Okay.
And we've had some really, really interesting experiences with that. And we're into the 3rd season. So
Well,
yeah, we're loving it.
I do say congratulations. Now, you were also saying, though, that you're working with a young lady.
Yes.
I've been able to catch the little clips and all this and that actually underneath your Facebook page that you do post. And do you want to sort of explain a little bit about that with our listeners?
Yeah, so that's Haunted Histories, Psychics on the Ghost Trail. So again, it's historically based. So we go to places that, just for example, one that we've recently done, a place called New Brighton. That's not out yet. That episode's not out yet. And it's an amusement arcade. You know, you go in the slot machines and there's joy rides and things like that there. And underground, there are tunnels that are secret tunnels. So our investigation was in the secret tunnels to see what we could uncover there. So we never ask for information about where we are. We like to uncover it as we go along. The New Brighton episode, David Wilkie, who from the Wilkie Group, who owns the building, did tell us a little tiny bit about what the tunnels were used for, because he's making it into a museum. So we knew the basics of what was happening there, but what we uncovered was not historically documented there. So we have a researcher who then goes away, just like rescue mediums, who goes away and looks at the information that we've uncovered while we've been there, what spirits we've encountered, like smugglers. There was a smuggler that we encountered. There was a love story that we encountered between an American GI and a British girl, well, two sisters actually. The two sisters fell in love with two GIs, and then how that story was uncovered. So it's a history with our psychic ability working together to uncover things that hadn't previously been uncovered, or another aspect of it. So again, with Megan, she's a young medium. We met her when she was just a teenager. So I've known her quite a long time, and Steve trained her. Steve Furlong trained her at Feathers many years ago. And then she carried on working with us for a little while. And she lives in somewhere called Bolton in England, and she's a healer as well. So sometimes she will bring healing into, if we're in an area that needs maybe some Reiki symbols, because we need to calm the area, whether it's the land or the buildings. So she'll bring a healing element into it. And she's very into all the Celtic things. So she likes ley lines, and she brings a different sort of flavour in. She's not my forte, but it is hers. So the other thing I think that works with that is I'm an older person and she's a younger person. We bring different sort of values into it. So it's just like being out with my daughter. We have a fantastic time, and we have some great experiences. I have to tell you, very, very small crew with this. So Megan's mum, Jackie, her name's Jackie as well, great name, obviously.
Yes.
And she's our camera person, and she does a tremendous job with that. And then I do the editing. We've got a researcher, our previous researcher, Anne passed away, unfortunately. So now we've got someone else doing the research. And then I do the editing and put it out, and it goes out on YouTube. So we're just a small little band of people who are enjoying each other's company and uncovering some fantastic things along the way.
Yeah. And what was the name again for people to check it out on YouTube?
It's a Haunted History, Psychics on the Ghost Trail.
Now, Jackie, good question though. Most Canadians though that know you, they'll also know me personally, are asking, when are you coming back to Canada?
I'd love to come back to Canada. I really would love to come back. Unfortunately, as you are aware, Chris, Michael Lamport, the narrator and producer of Rescue Mediums, had passed away. And so it wouldn't feel right somehow to be doing the show without him.
Yeah.
However, I'm always open to offers if any other production company would want, this 60-odd-year-old woman to come over and have a fantastic time talking to spirit energies in Canada or tutorials or whatever. I'd love to do that. And I know Steve Furlong would also. He's always wanting to come back to. In fact, he is visiting Canada with his wife, who is Canadian or Canadian born. And they are in Saskatchewan, I think. I think they're that way, Calgary, and that way over,
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to come back to Canada, and I would love to do more spirit rescue work, show like Rescue Mediums or historical things to uncover, just like the show I'm doing in Japan. You're working with history in that way, and yeah, I just need to be invited.
yes. So if there is any producers listening, or anybody that knows anybody else actually within the film industry underneath the podcast here, if you know anybody, you can reach out. Jackie would love to actually hear from you. You can get Jackie over top of her website. It's JackieDennison.com, and you can actually be able to find a little bit more information altogether. The question though is for people that are actually just starting within the spiritual mediumship work, what would you suggest for them to do?
With any spirit development, any kind of spiritual work, and I know both you and Gillian will agree with this, that you've got to be grounded and look after your physical energy first. So the grounding and protection that I use, I'm sure that you both use as well, is to protect your physical energy. And that's not to protect it against spirit. It is to protect your physical energy. Because when you're working on a high level that we do work with mediumship, it can drain your energy if you're not feeling 100%. You need to, and when you're with other people, like if you're in a group of people as well, their energy can also drain yours because you're helping to keep them uplifted, particularly if you're doing like a psychic investigation, for example. So it's always important to do your grounding work and then protecting your energy level, and to work with, I know that they say this is a very British thing, but to work with your spirit team, your spirit guides, and to be able to take advice from them. And that's not always seeing them or hearing them. It's just what I call the knowing, because you know who your team are and you know that when you are needed, or how you need to respond in a certain situation, that they are the ones that direct you. You're actually acting on what their advice is as to how to deal with the situation. And of course, the key to any psychic development, spiritual development is meditation, is to be able to meditate on a regular basis, so that your energy levels are brought up, so that you are aware of what your energy levels are and what your vibration is, because you have to tune in on quite a high vibration when you're working with spirit energy. So they would be my go-tos, like always do your grounding and protection and meditate, get to know your spirit team, join a circle. Maybe if you've got a spiritualist church you can go to, or a spiritualist group that you can train alongside, and don't look at everything as if it's down to spirit. So if the door suddenly blows open, don't go, oh my God, a spirit energy's just opened the door. No, check it out. Check to see if there's any drafts that has caused that to happen. So be practical as well, so I think that's why I'm always looking beyond what's there to see if there's anything practical that have caused whatever. And then if it isn't, okay, well, who are you and why are you here?
And how can people reach out to you by any chance?
So on my website, which is jackiedennison.com, or Facebook, you can find me on Facebook, Jackie Dennison Rescue Mediums. You'll find me on Facebook, and you can email me or send me a private message. I believe that we find each other when we need to and when we're meant to. So if somebody needs to reach out to me, I'll be available at the right time when they're reaching out, and vice versa.
Yeah. And you can be able to find this stuff all underneath Jackie's website. Just click underneath the menu portion and you'll be able to find underneath more. We do say thanks very much, Jackie, for taking part in today's episode. And may the spirits be with you.
Have a good day, everybody.